My next guests say they're finding family and happiness without being parents. They're part of a growing trend of women who are not having children either because they've chosen to delay having kids, choosing not to have them at all, and for others, being childless didn't come by choice. Now, according to the CDC, in 2018, the number of babies born in the U.S. fell to the lowest level in 32 years, and the rate has been declining steadily since then. Now, some call it otherhood. Some, like me, I love calling it the Auntie Revolution. Take a look.
My name is Melanie, and I'm 53 years old. Ever since I was 10 years old, I dreamed that I'd be a mom. But when I hit my mid-30s, still single and childless, I began to feel grief. So I decided to launch a lifestyle brand for women like me. It's called Savvy Auntie, a celebration of modern aunthood, all women who love kids. I don't consider myself childless. I'm child full.
Hi, my name is Jasmine. I'm 33 years old, and growing up, I always thought I'd be a mom. I never questioned it. But as I got older and became a stand-up comedian, I realized that motherhood and my career just didn't align. I love my niece and nephews, and it's so amazing and fulfilling to be a part of their lives.
My name is Reshmi. I'm 37 years old, and I've been married for almost 9 years. My husband and I have been trying to grow our family for several years now, but we've been struggling with fertility issues. So I've had to ask myself, would I be okay never making the transition from aunt to motherhood? And the answer is a resounding yes. I come from a large extended family, and I'm incredibly close with my 5 aunts. On top of that, I take a lot of pride in being an aunt myself to my 6 nephews and 2 nieces.
Cam fam, welcome to the show. Melanie Notkin, Jasmine, Ellis, and Reshmi, Hazra, Rustebakke. Thank you all. I'm gonna tell you. So there are many things I dreamt of doing on this show when we first got it. This show is one of them because I was an auntie to my 4. Isaiah is now 27. Maya's 22. Gianna is 16, going on 50. Layla is 13. They were my kids and are still my kids, and I'm not their mom. Aunties are undervalued, underappreciated, and I am so happy you created the Savvy Auntie, your whole concept. What do you think people don't understand about what we bring?
What we bring is this true, authentic, deep love for the children in our life. Most women, in fact, 80% of women who don't have children are not childless by choice. They're childless by circumstance. And some are dealing, like I did, with a lot of grief because they're waiting for love or they're having challenges, having children of their own. And when we are part of the family, when we can use our maternal muscle to love the children in our life, everybody wins.
Everybody wins. And Jasmine, that's the thing, you know, Melanie, 2008, you created, the auntie movement, but I encountered, and I'm sure all of you agree, people assume you're selfish. They make these assumptions about your womanhood, right? And I tell people, motherhood and womanhood are 2 different things.
Absolutely.
But they conflate them. You and your husband have experienced it together, but you in a different way because you're the woman.
Absolutely. I get that question a lot. Like, you guys, you're sure you don't want kids? And for me personally, I feel like you can have the experience of having children in your life that adds that value, but I just personally don't want to be a parent. Like, it's a child, I consider myself child-free by choice.
I love how you confidently said that because I have friends who now are the same. They are confidently saying it. I think my dear friend Tiffany, we talked, she said, I don't want to be a parent. And that's okay. She's a phenomenal aunt. And even if she didn't have a chance to be a phenomenal aunt, she's a phenomenal woman, a phenomenal person.
Yes, and you can still contribute so much to the world, yes.
When those people come at you, how do you handle it? I mean, you do humor for a living, so how do you handle it?
You know, you gotta just like laugh it off. One of my favorite things is to just be like, oh, you know, we just don't know. And then they feel bad or kind of awkward. Well, though, my mom is the worst. I love her to death. Love her to death, but my mom, you know, she's always just like, well, you never know. You never know, I'm gonna pray about it. And I'm like, I'm gonna pray the opposite way. We gonna cancel each other out.
You cancel each other out.
We will. Cancel each other out.
Reshmi, you wrote this article and you said, I thought motherhood was going to be the ultimate prize, but I've underestimated the bond that can be built between aunts and kids. I almost burst into tears when I read that because every Mother's Day, on my social, I always say Happy Mother's Day to the moms, and I say Happy Mother's Day to the women who are like your mom. Where I'm from, we say your play mama. You know,
Yeah.
all of these women who contribute to your journey.
Yeah, I grew up with 5 of my own aunts, but then also I'm South Asian, so like everybody like play mommy, play auntie, all of that. I have like a bajillion mashis and bishis and whoever else. And they all contributed to who I am today. And without them, I wouldn't be the woman that you see here in the studio. So yeah, with my mom, amazing, but I was raised by all of these women.
Right.
And I felt really the same exact way when I started to become an aunt. I was like, yeah, those are my babies.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have an imprint on them. So
Oh, God, you have me tearing up because this really hits home for me. Coming up, we've heard the African proverb that it takes a village to raise a child. Melanie, Jasmine, and Reshmi share what they love and embrace about the otherhood journey. After the break, I've been dreaming of this conversation. Good, I love it. Welcome back. I have just fallen in love with the guests we're talking to right now, Melanie Notkin, Jasmine Ellis, and Reshmi Hazra Rustebakke, who are all on purpose celebrating being aunties and embracing what is called the otherhood. Melanie, your book, you actually wrote a book about otherhood. That's your book. You say in it, we women of the otherhood were never, in fact, the other. We've always been our true, authentic selves. We are not the voice inside our heads telling us that we are not enough. Once we no longer define ourselves as the other, as outside the social norm, we are no longer concerned with how others define us. We are liberated to be our true selves. It's empowering for women to embrace that.
Absolutely. You know, I very much wanted children. I dreamed of weddings in my backyard. I bought a baby name book at age 12 to name my twin girls that I envisioned, even though we have no twins in the family, but I was going to have twin girls. And lo and behold, 20 years later, my dream came true for my brother. He had a set of twin girls.
Aww.
And then a few years later, another set of twin girls.
Yeah.
So my dream came true. I'm an aunt to 6. I love my nephew and nieces. And I wanted to help others see that celebration of modern aunthood. We're not old ladies with blue hair.
Right.
We're modern women.
Well, it's clear. You have highlights, but no blue hair. I like that. Gorgeous highlights. You know, Jasmine, one of the things that always bothered me is that people assume that, or you hear the statement, having a child made me a better person. And I always said, well, if you didn't have a child, were you just gonna walk around being a crappy person? Like, I'm mystified by that. Yes, my son has brought amazing things to this journey, and I love that little boy, but I would like to believe I was gonna be a good person and am a good person with or without him.
Exactly. That's so important. So many people are like, oh, I care about people now that I'm a parent. It's like, why not care? Like, even though I'm never gonna be a parent, I still think to myself, like, yeah, I want to make sure kids have schools to go to, and have things so that, the person who's taking care of me when I'm elderly can read. Like, we need to have this community sense. Like, you need that village, and we're all a part of it, whether we want to be or not. So I think people need to take ownership of that role.
I love that. Reshmi, what do you want people, especially women who wanted or still want children, but that's not the journey right now?
yeah, so my husband and I, we've been trying to conceive since 2016, 2017, something like that. And we've been through a lot. Like, I had a miscarriage, we did IUI, we were contemplating IVF and went back and forth on it. We're still in conversation around that. But at a certain point, I had to ask myself, like, was I just gonna be less than if I never became a mother? Was I just never gonna get to start my life? And at that point, I really started to look around and I was like, my aunt was the person who got me through when I was having trouble with members of my family, when I was going through my miscarriage. That was something she had experienced, and we had an ability to like talk to one another about it. And I wanna be that for my nieces and nephews. I wanna be that person.
I'm telling you, you got me choked up because, you know, one of the proudest parts of my journey is, when my nephew, who's now, he's getting his first job, and he called me and said, what books do you recommend, Aunt Tamron? And, they send me Happy Mother's Day cards. And as much as I adore the child that I have, these kids, when I look at them, I see my journey. and aunts are to be celebrated. In fact, Melanie, you have Auntie's Day, which I will celebrate forever. It's a new holiday, July 26th, to celebrate aunts, godmothers, anyone who chooses to nurture, inspire, and give love to a child.
So we're getting gifts.
July 26th. Jasmine says so we're now getting gifts. I love it.
Every fourth Sunday in July is Auntie's Day. And by the way, I say we're not their mom, we're not their friend, we're their aunt.
Yeah.
The perfect blend.
I love it. Well, I will be celebrating with Maya, Gianna, Layla, and Isaiah. I love you guys, and thank you. I love you all. Melanie, Jasmine, Reshmi. For more information on Savvy Auntie, head over to TamronHallShow.com. And on July 26th, we're celebrating aunts and godmoms and all of these women.